The air crackled with anticipation as dusk settled over suburbia. Snowflakes drifted down like confetti, shimmering beneath the soft blue glow of frost-laden streetlights. It was December 31st, the final night of the year, and both sides knew what that meant, the annual New Year's Eve battle. For 5 years running, the plants and the zombies had waged a fierce, strategic, and strangely festive yearly skirmish to welcome the new cycle of time. Unlike their usual daytime skirmishes, this one was special: no property damage beyond the lawn, no permanent casualties, and most importantly, a truce at midnight. The winner wouldn't claim land but bragging rights for the entire year. And this year, it was personal. The zombies, led by the ever-ambitious Drive Zomboss in his gleaming chrome-plated hovercraft, had not won in 3 years. The last 2 victories belonged to the wise and unflappable Sunflower, who had risen as the de facto leader of the plant defense after the original pea shooter retired to a greenhouse in Arizona. Zombies. Dr. Zomboss's voice boomed from a megaphone shaped like a rotting turkey. Tonight, we march under the banner of the new year. We shall storm the lawn with the force of 12 chimes. We shall dance through the flower beds. We shall eat, not brains, but time itself. A chorus of groans and enthusiastic moans echoed from the undead ranks. There were coneheads with party hats, bucketheads rigged with sparklers, and even a new breed, the confetti zombie, equipped with a backpack full of glitter and noisemakers. The most fearsome of all, however, was the rocket imp, modified with a countdown timer strapped to his chest. He'd only detonate if he reached the house before midnight. Across the lawn, the plants prepared under the moonlight. Peanuts drilled formations. Walnuts practiced synchronized rolling. Snow peas cooled themselves in little snowbanks, ready to slow the enemy's advance. And at the center of it all stood Sunflower, golden petals gleaming, her face calm and resolute. "We defend more than the house tonight," she said, addressing her troops from the front porch. "We defend time, we defend tradition, and we protect the countdown." Torchwood, standing near the entrance with his fiery log, puffed smoke. "They've never attacked at night before, Sunflower. It's colder. The sun's down. We're at a disadvantage, which is why we adapt," she replied. "Chomper has set traps in the compost pits. 3 new primal pea shooters are online. They can fire electric peas that shock through snow. And I've recruited a secret weapon." She gestured toward the back garden. There was a rustle in the bushes. Then, with a dramatic thud, a massive, moss-covered creature emerged. Wide leaves unfurled like armored wings. Its eyes glowed emerald green. It let out a low, rumbling growl. "Say hello to Yuletopus," Sunflower announced. Gasps rippled through the plant ranks. Yuletopus, a legendary hybrid from the Arctic forests, part Venus flytrap, part ancient evergreen, with 8 serpentine limbs tipped with pinecone explosives. It could root into the soil and unleash holiday-themed attacks, tinsel snares, peppermint shockwaves, and most devastatingly, the mistletoe pulse, an aura that temporarily pacified enemies with an overwhelming urge to hug each other. "It's untested," Yuletopus rumbled. "But the season moves me. We need you," Sunflower said. "If they bring fireworks, you neutralize them." As the final minutes ticked down, both sides positioned themselves. The zombies advanced not in their usual staggered waves, but in a coordinated phalanx, the parade of progress. Disco zombies led with mirror balls spinning, reflecting eerie light and disorienting the frontline pea shooters. Backup dancers, the newly designed Zomboni dancers, ice skated forward, leaving trails of frozen sludge that slowed plant defenses. Then came the first real threat, the noisemaker horde. They stomped toward the defenses, clanging pots, hooting horns, and blasting air raid sirens. The sheer noise disrupted Sunflower's photosynthesis, dimming her radiant glow. Pea shooters faltered, their peas straying off course. "Torchwood, light the way," Sunflower called. With a grunt, Torchwood ignited his torch to full blaze. Flames surged, melting the sludge, burning through the noise waves. The heat created a thermal breeze that carried Sunflower's energy forward. She bloomed brighter, radiating warmth across the lawn. "Sunbeam barrage, activate," she cried. A volley of solar flares shot skyward, exploding in dazzling bursts like reverse fireworks, blinding the undead vanguard. The coneheads stumbled, dropping their noisemakers. "Now, pea shooters," Sunflower commanded. The front line unleashed a relentless storm of peas, ice-coated from the snow peas modifications. The frozen projectiles shattered zombie party hats and froze joints. A buckethead slipped on an icy patch, spinning comically before falling into a berry bush. But then, whoosh, a streak of red fire cut across the sky. The rocket imp was launched. Strapped to a makeshift catapult operated by 2 groaning flag zombies, the tiny imp rocketed forward, his countdown blinking crimson, 0 hours 4 minutes and 32 seconds. "He'll reach the porch by 11:56 if we don't stop him," cried a chilly bean. Sunflower turned to Yuletopus. "It's time." The great beast lumbered forward, roots tearing up the soil. With a bellow, it raised 3 limbs and launched tinsel nets into the air. The sticky, metallic strands tangled the rocket imp mid-flight, yanking him off course. He spiraled downward, crashing into a snowman built by the cabbage pulled earlier that evening. But he wasn't done. Staggering up, he activated a secondary thruster. The countdown blinked faster. 0 hours 2 minutes and 18 seconds. He's self-correcting. Yuletopus roared. Sunflower's leaves drooped slightly. The cold was getting to her. Without sunlight, she couldn't sustain her full power. She turned to the sky. Still no stars, only thick winter clouds. Then she smiled. Primal pea shooters, she called. Aim for the snowman. Melt it. The 3 massive, moss-covered plants swiveled, charging electric peas. They fired in tandem. Zap. 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 Melting the snowman's torso. Water flooded the ground beneath the rocket imp, soaking his thrusters. FZZZT. Sparks flew. The countdown stuttered. 0 hours 1 minute and 3 seconds, 0 hours 1 minute and 2 seconds, 0 It froze at 0 hours 0 minutes and 47 seconds, the battery shorted by the water. The imp groaned and collapsed, fizzling like a wet firecracker. A cheer rose from the plants. But Drive, Zomboss wasn't done. From above, his hovercraft descended, now transformed into a towering, multi-tiered Zomboine ballroom on a blimp. It hovered low over the backyard. If you will not join our celebration, he declared, then you shall be the celebration. The sides of the blimp unfolded. Dozens of firework zombies rappelled down on cords, each carrying ornate, explosive payloads. They began planting charges at key points, near the sunflower, by the walnuts, under Yuletopus's roots. The fireworks, Sunflower gasped. If they go off early, the blast will disorient us, and if they go off at midnight, the explosion will mask their final push. Yuletopus roared and deployed the mistletoe pulse. A soft green wave rippled across the lawn. The firework zombies froze, suddenly overcome with emotion. One turned to another. You know, we don't have to do this. I know, the other said, tears welling in his rotting eyes. We could just hug. And they did. Tight, awkward, one-armed embraces under the snow. But two held back, the elite pyro coneheads, immune to emotion due to iron helmets lined with asbestos. They reached the base of the house and began arming a massive, skull-shaped firework labeled, Final Countdown. Sunflower strained. She was exhausted. Torchwood's flame sputtered. The pea shooters were reloading. Chomper was stuck chewing on a disco ball. Only one move remained. She closed her eyes and reached deep, into the heart of her being, into the ancient bond all plants shared with the sun, even when it couldn't be seen. She sang. A low, golden hum filled the air. It shimmered through the frost, gathering warmth from the faint cosmic glow beyond the clouds. A pulse of radiant energy spread, gentle but insistent. Above, the clouds parted. Just for a moment, a single beam of moonlight, no, not moonlight, starlight, bright and silvery, pierced the darkness and struck Sunflower's face. She bloomed, petals unfurled wider than ever before. Her glow intensified, bathing the lawn in a soft, solar aura. In that light, every plant regained strength. Now, she cried. Torchwood reignited, flames roaring. The primal pea shooters fired supercharged electric peas, striking the skull firework. It sparked, but didn't explode. Yuletopus, inspired, unleashed a cranberry barrage. Explosive berries rained down, knocking the pyro coneheads off balance. And from the back, a surprise attack. The retired pea shooter, wearing sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt, emerged from a lawn chair. Took an early retirement, he said, cracking his stem. But not for this. He took position at the front, joining two younger pea shooters. Triple shot, New Year's style. A storm of peas, normal, icy, and electric, blasted forward. The pyro coneheads were pummeled, their helmets cracking. They dropped the detonator. It landed in the snow, 3 feet from the skull firework. The countdown on the blimp's side flashed. 0 hours 0 minutes and 10 seconds, 0 hours 0 minutes and 9 seconds. Sunflower looked at the detonator. She couldn't reach it. No one could. Then, a tiny hop. A single spring bean, no larger than a pea pod, bounced forward. It had been overlooked, hidden in the grass. Not too far, it squeaked. It launched itself with all its might, boing, and landed on the detonator, pressing it down with its entire body. Click, but nothing happened. The fireworks didn't ignite, because Sunflower had done more than just shine. Her light had disrupted the chemical fuses. The explosives were inert. 0 hours 0 minutes and 3 seconds, 0 hours 0 minutes and 2 seconds, 0 hours 0 minutes and 1 second. A hush fell over the battlefield. Then, boom, not from the zombies, fireworks. From the sky, a cascade of real fireworks erupted above suburbia, red, gold, green, silver, spelling out, Happy New Year. In dazzling light, the townspeople, unaware of the battle below, cheered from their rooftops. The truce was upon them. Zombies dropped their weapons. Plants lowered their petals. Even Drive, Zomboss deactivated his blimp, stepping out in a top hat and monocle. Well done, Sunflower, he said, offering a gloved hand. You've defended time once more. She shook it, smiling wearily. And you brought the spectacle, Doctor. As always. He bowed. A battle well fought is its own reward. The firework zombies, still hugging, began singing a slow, mournful rendition of Auld Lang Syne. A disco zombie started a conga line. Walnuts and coneheads shared thermoses of hot cocoa. The zombies' version was blended brains and marshmallows, but they insisted it was delicious. Yuletopus curled up near the porch, muttering, "Peace is acceptable." Sunflower gazed at the sky, the fireworks reflecting in her golden eyes. Another year had passed. Another battle survived. And through conflict, there was tradition. Through rivalry, there was balance. And perhaps, just perhaps, a strange kind of friendship. As the clock struck 12, a single snowflake landed on her leaf. She whispered, "Welcome, New Year." And somewhere, deep in the shadows, a tiny seed began to sprout, green, hopeful, and ready for the next chapter. The war would continue, but not tonight. Tonight, the plants and the zombies celebrated together. Because even enemies, under the same sky, ringing in the same time, can share a moment of peace. And that was the greatest victory of all.